Chapter 74. What is your work now? Mr. Harltz insists that we need a counterpart to the bliss extract that can be controlled. He liked what he saw in Lily and wanted me to recreate a more manageable edition. I agreed, in the hopes maybe I could find a true cure for Lily. Show them Furnius, it was Harltz. Good afternoon, Father. Rest well, I hope. Indeed, it was greatly needed. And to you, Henry, is your day going well? Oh, yes, Father, it has been quite a delightful day. The doctor started rubbing his hands together, seeming nervous. Well, you see, Mr. Harltz, I don't think that the wisest to do. They are not at all ready, and I still need to test the newest batch. It seems too permanent, it doesn't seem to wear off, and... I asked you to show them, so you shall. Yes, sir. The doctor took his neck, and with a strong flinch he asked us to follow him to the other side of the room to a dark door. He took a shaky breath. From his pocket he pulled out a glowing green vial of liquid. We call it Rager. Lights down. Now listen. They can only hear us when I push this button, otherwise we can hear them but not us. It's of my own invention. The lights all went off, then you could see through the dark door, like it was nothing but glass with a slight haze. There were 2 women in the room with tattered clothes and their hair matted into giant balls. It's time again, ladies, he said while pushing the green button on the wall. Please, no. We are sorry, so sorry. We won't try to steal the baby again. Please just let us go, the younger-looking one pleaded. Her body was covered in scars and bruises. The other looked on with hopeless eyes. Just let us die. She started to curl up on the floor. I'm truly sorry, ladies. So sorry I have no choice. With that, he put the vial on an electric arm overhead. On its end was a thick needle that made its way past the unclimbable walls. The one girl in the corner backed into as much as she could. The arm went to her first and quickly ejected the liquid in her neck. Then it went to the woman laying on the ground doing the same to her. It wasn't more than 5 seconds before they started twisting their bodies in unnatural ways. They started roaring out screams. They came to the door with contorted bodies hitting the door till it was good and bloody with their heads, only to lick the blood off with their tongues, smiling such wicked smiles unlike I had ever seen. The doctor started to talk, his voice echoing in speaker to their room. Ladies, please calm down and sit. The women perked up in an odd fashion, looking around. Interesting, this is the first time they have responded in any way to being spoken to. Ladies, please sit down. Instead of listening, they just started saying things that sounded like a half-gargled language I couldn't understand, biting at their fingers, making them bleed, and smiling with blood-covered mouths. Speech analysis, the doctor said out loud, and a female voice filled the room. No known language in my records. Colt yelled out, "Stop this!" He grabbed the doctor's coat, his hands turned pale as he grasped the fabric. I can't. Perhaps it will have to wear off on its own. Perhaps it won't. This new batch is very unstable. Why do you do this? Because Harltz will kill Lily if I don't. He knows where she's at. His eyes are on her at all times. He trapped me in my own blood's frailty. Do you not think these women's lives are any less than your handmaid daughters? These are real women with real souls. These 2 are dead either way. Once I'm done, Harltz will have them killed. By my doing what I have done, it has kept them alive and gave them time. My Lily still has a chance to live a normal life. Colt's lip curled. Better dead than this. I looked to the doctor. What happens if one wears off and the other doesn't? Madam, could you do something about this first? The doctor said, looking at Colt, holding him. Colt let him go. We, in a way, needed to see this. Besides that, he's been hurt more than most of us. His scars are just not on the outside. Colt threw him down with a small push as the frail doctor sat on the floor, gloved hands on the tile, stabilizing himself, taking a swallow, then standing with a tired grunt. Seeming to ignore the situation, he started to explain. Well, it has happened a couple of times before. The one enraged seems to leave the other alone for the most part. I believe it is the pheromones they put off, but it has only been tested a few times. And when I throw in a cat that has been injected, they tend to eat it more than ignore. But when I put in a kitten, they observe it for some time, then seem to ignore it. It still needs some tests to be done.